Good afternoon, my name is Jimmy, and today I'd like to talk to you about how to install a fastener on metal. Now what we're going to be doing is doing the same thing as you would do with a screw, putting a screw into a piece of wood. We're actually going to put a bolt into a piece of metal. And sometimes applications call for that whenever you can't actually drill a through hole and put a bolt with a nut on the other end. Sometimes you actually need to install threads into the metal. That process is called drilling and tapping, in machinist terms. First thing you need to do before you get started is consider safety. As you can see, I'm wearing safety glasses. That's a very key thing when you're using power tools. You don't want shards of metal or any other debris getting up into your eyes, so you protect your eyes. It's not advisable to wear gloves unless your metal has shards or is rough, because some power tools can grab gloves, so that is a safety concern you want to take into account. If you want to look at the tools we're going to be using, a drill press is preferable for this operation, but since we're using a small piece of metal in this case, a hand drill, a decent hand drill is fine. We're also going to be using a tap. This is a tap. It's going to be a 1/4 20, which is a standard coarse thread tap. And this is a tap wrench that holds the tap. It actually ratchets, so it makes it easier for you to cut the threads. There are two types of taps for the main thing. One is what you call a starter tap, so you can use this tap. It has the pointed ends, you can see, for going through holes. And if there's a case where you can't drill all the way through the piece of metal, then you can always use what you call a plug tap or a bottom tap. So it's flat on the end, so you can go down and bottom out on the bottom of your tap hole. For this 1/4 20 thread, actually the machinist handbook calls for a number 6 drill. That's a 0.204 decimal equivalent. A good rule of thumb when you're drilling holes in the metal is to use a pilot drill that's 1/16 less in diameter. That gives you a nice, once you drill the pilot drill, you go back and you drill with the bigger drill, it gives you a nice clean hole to the size that you need. And in the end, we'll be installing this 1/4 20 hex head bolt into this piece of aluminum metal. So to get prepared, you want to have a vise. You need something to hold your, if it's not a big piece of metal that's attached to something, if you have a small piece of metal like this, you need to have a vise or something to really secure it, because when you start drilling on it, it's going to put torque on the item, and it may get away from you or cause you injury. So what we're going to do is we're going to clamp the piece of metal into the vise here. Put it nice and snug. And next we're going to install the drill bit into the drill. This has a hand tightening chuck on it. Some drills have chuck keys. But you want to start out with the low speed on the drill. And in this case, we're just doing it, for example, if you had a precise location, you'd want to use what they call a center punch, and you'd actually place a centering hole or a indexing hole that you would actually locate the tip of the drill bit into. In this case, we're not really locating it, we're doing it, for example. And we're going to just drill the pilot hole, which is, like I say, a 1/16 less than the size we need. We're going to up the speed a little bit to speed it up. You want to try to hold the drill level and plumb, so perpendicular to the surface that you're drilling through, so the hole is nice and straight through the surface. Okay, now we're through with the pilot hole. We're going to remove the drill bit, install the finished size bit. In this bigger hole, we're going to add just a little bit of what is called cutting fluid. It's more important for the tapping process, but it also helps the drill bit cut through the metal, lubricates it. As you can see how easy the finished size drill bit goes through after you've got your pilot hole installed. The next thing we do is we would take the tap, whichever tap in this case we're going through, so we're going to just go ahead and use the starter tap. And you would install it into your tap wrench, add cutting fluid, or in this case this is the Rapid Tap brand, but it's just a cutting fluid or an oil. Same thing here is you want to keep it perpendicular to the surface that you're tapping, so you have a nice straight thread, and you want to start it slow with a little bit of downward pressure. Now the tap will actually start grabbing the hole and cutting thread. So this is actually cutting the counterpart thread that you would see on this bolt. It's actually would be the male thread. You're actually putting the female thread in here, the corresponding thread for this to hold to. So as you cut in, it's a good rule of thumb to take three rotations and then rotate back a half. And what that does is the piece of metal that's being cut away in there, it breaks it up so it doesn't bind. So 3 rotations, back a half. And you want to do that till you get your tap all the way through. And you can actually feel the force or the torque that it takes release whenever you get the thread cut all the way through, and it gets nice and easy. Then we're going to just back this out. Now you have a hole that is ready to accept the fastener, in this case, which is a quarter 20 bolt. So you can just, as you can see, once you do that, you can just put the bolt in, and it screws right in, and you're ready to attach whatever you need to this piece of metal. Again, that's an easy way to, if you have the right tools, that's an easy way to attach a fastener to a piece of metal. Just like fastening a wood screw into wood, you have to prep the metal a little bit to accept the threads in this case, that's the easy way to do it. Thanks.